This is Nick Baisley from Film Threat and FilmSnobbery. I'm here in Park City, and who the heck am I here with?
What do I do with my hands?
You can keep doing that.
Just keep doing this?
You can keep doing that.
Okay.
You can go with the old quote sign.
Okay. Well, I'm Isaac Brown, director of TERRA BLIGHT, and this is Paula Habib. And it's actually Paula Habib. She's Brazilian, but when we first met, she told me her name was Anna, and I've been bastardizing it ever since. So.
You're a typical woman. You're always messing up.
No, that's because I was told when I moved to the United States that my name has been transformed to Anna. So I said, okay, there it is.
Do you believe everything you're told? Come on now.
Actually, a lot of times I do.
So you got TERRA BLIGHT. I love the shirts, by the way.
Thank you. They glow in the dark.
They don't know what TERRA BLIGHT's about. So you need to tell them. So go.
TERRA BLIGHT is a 55-minute documentary that explores the life cycle of the computer and the hazardous waste we create in pursuit of the latest technology.
Now, I have a particular interest in this because before I became the film snob at FilmSnobbery.com and apparently the interview guy here at Park City for Film Threat, I was a network engineer. So I've thrown away so much technology in my lifetime, both from tinkering and from clients and stuff like that. What did you find? How much stuff are we throwing away, and how much is being? I know that there are recycling programs and stuff for this too, but how much waste is actually being created from this stuff? And I want her to tell me.
Well, I think just by what you said, do you want me to hold that, or just by what you said of how much you threw out, and now if you multiply that by everybody who is using technology, which is a big majority of us, you can then multiply of what is actually being thrown away. So,
see, I'm American, so I don't really care what anyone else is doing. I look at my own.
We noticed.
No. So you're looking at it from an exponential standpoint, and where is the bulk of this technology ending up?
So, your question about the specific numbers, it's really hard to get an accurate number, but the EPA, the US EPA, estimates that it's about 100 million computers, TV sets every year. 70% of that in this country goes into a landfill. 30% goes somewhere else, and that's what really this film is about. We didn't really focus on landfill as much as where does that other bit go, and what we found is really astonishing. You would think that in a country as industrious as ours and as creative as we are and about getting things done, we would have ways of recycling the technology, and we actually do. We go to a recycler that has a $2 million machine that they can just dump a whole truck full of computers in and grinds it up into the different pieces, and they can melt them down and make new components out of it. But that's not where most of our stuff goes. Most of it goes overseas. Out of the 20% of our e-waste that's recycled, 80% of that gets shipped overseas to a developing country where you've got a kid with a rock smashing it open, pulling out the copper, pulling out the iron, selling it on the market, trying to make a few pennies from it. And
that sounds like something we should be doing. I want to make money from copper and stuff. I mean, cash for gold, right?
Yeah,
that's how this...
We absolutely can make... It's more profitable to mine a computer than it is to go mine the earth to get these metals. I mean, that's a fact. And what's really ironic about all this is, and if you see the movie, you'll see, a lot of these computers, we went to Ghana in West Africa and filmed these kids and child recyclers dealing with the old electronics. These computers still have the ownership labels on them that tell you exactly where they came from. And some of the ownership labels would just astonish you. I mean, the fact that one of them actually said U.S. environmental protection, and these are toxic components. They're full of lead, brominated mercury, cadmium, all these heavy metals that have no business. They're toxic waste. I mean, it's literally toxic waste. And what we're trying to do with this film is really, we love computers, right? I couldn't be a filmmaker this day and age on my budget without a computer. I love them. We all do, but our emphasis is the next great thing, the iPhone 6, whatever. That's what we talk about. What's the next thing coming out? We don't talk about where's it going. We don't talk about the consequences of this insatiable thirst.
Well, these, with the exception of, unless I guess you have a computer tower, which even those these days are, you don't see as many of those in the house. You see, nothing is modular anymore. I mean, laptops, you know, as they get smaller, you know,
Can't even change a battery.
yeah.
It's made to break.
Exactly. Now, I want to talk a little bit about your role as a producer in this film. What were you tasked to do, and how did you go about doing it?
Well, I think to me the most important role of a producer is not only making things happen, but also protecting a director's vision. So I feel like the most important role for me was to always make sure that I was there to help out, get Isaac's vision from his brain to the screen. So, but it's not just that, it's also just making phone calls and being there with the filming, every single shoot, we just being there with the interviews, and also just a lot of the brainstorming that goes into it, a lot of the in-house discussions and how are we going to edit this, where is this going to go. So in many ways I would say my job is to be the right hand of the director and a lot more. So
And I would
What does she really do?
Well, 90% of the shoots, it was me and her. And you got a picture, we're walking around a moonscape in Ghana of broken glass and fecal matter and just toxic waste everywhere. And it's me and her and our guide. And she's schlepping around camera equipment, you know, 50-pound bags of gear. And that's a vacation for her.
So I have to ask,
Yeah.
why trudging around in fecal matter on these vast kind of, as you said, moonscapes? I like that word.
Yeah.
Moonscapes of busted electronics. You know, I mean, obviously, someone's got to know about this and be doing something about it. So you know,
would hope so, right?
You would hope so.
Right.
Are they?
People are doing stuff about it, but the question is, are we all doing something about it? Because we're all contributing to the problem. And until every single one of us is pitching in and making sure that we're not disposing of our electronics in an irresponsible manner, then it's going to get worse and worse.
I literally right now on me have a phone, a tablet, and a laptop.
Right.
Not even counting the equipment we're shooting this with.
And what do you have stockpiled in your house? That's probably not running so great.
Zero computers, because I will do what I have to do to them myself. I'll repair it myself. But I do have a stack of parts. But I use those parts for, like, if something breaks, it's my, like,
But you're
interim.
atypical. Most
I
people
am.
don't know how to take computers apart, you know?
And I don't understand that either. I mean, you know, we're all roughly, this looks like probably around the same age. My hair gives it away a little bit.
Yeah, mine too.
Nah.
This one.
This one right there?
Yeah, that
I got this one right here. It's a
Yeah,
little
I was
nap.
gonna say something.
It's a
but
little
you might
nappy. I
wanna
don't.
trim that up. Yeah.
I've been trying. It keeps coming back. But the thing is that, you know, my parents' excuse for all this stuff is like, well, you grew up with this, and I'm like, you were born when this stuff was invented. You grew up with it.
Right.
What is the older generation's excuse for not contributing to this? I mean, it's the, you know, for me, I don't see the excuse. I want to know your opinion, and then I want yours.
Okay, well, I'm going to take your story and turn it into a story. So one of the most, I would say, one of the most shocking interviews we did, or maybe the one I'm most proud of, is we interviewed a gentleman named George LaRue, who's a retired IBM engineer who actually invented the UPC symbol. He's the guy that came up with this thing. And, you know, to talk to him about it, there was a time when the symbol came out in the early 70s. Wall Street Journal said, this thing will never take off. This has failed. It's a big blunder. It's never going to work. So even that's not that long ago. In the early 70s, they had no idea where we were going to be today. They had no clue. So that just shows you we really don't know where we're going to be in 30 years.
So is the technology advancing beyond common sense?
I think technology is advancing just a little bit faster than we are, maybe common sense. But I would like to take this opportunity just to kind of think it's important to point out that we're in no way trashing technology or putting it down. We want to celebrate technology. I think as humans, we've proven that we're brilliant. We have the capacity to create all these things that are surrounding us, from the chair you're sitting on to the microphone you're holding. So, you know, as humans, we have that capacity to envision something and then make it happen. So this film, I think the goal of it is not necessarily to put technology down, but to empower the audience to become responsible consumers, to empower the audience to demand the people who are creating these products to actually use the intelligence they have to create smart products. So I think, you know, we celebrate technology. We couldn't be here and we couldn't create this if it wasn't for technology. But I think that there's room for all of us as a society to become more responsible consumers and celebrate that.
That's the answer I was looking for right there. I mean, you're sitting there telling stories and stuff like that. She's hitting it on the head,
Totally.
nail on the head.
I mean, if anything is going to help us get out of this quagmire, it's going to be technology. We're going to need machines to help us process this e-waste, you know? And the place that we filmed at in North Carolina, Creative Recycling, one of the foremost recyclers in the country in terms of putting infrastructure in place to recycle this stuff. They couldn't do what they do without computers. You know, we couldn't do what we do without computers. So I think it's important that, you know, like Anna says, we're not Luddites. We're not saying we shouldn't have technology. But, I mean, when's the last time that people were in line at Black Friday? They're at, you know, 1 in the morning waiting to buy their latest thing. Are they really thinking about the consequences of that action or where their old stuff is going? Of course not.
They're saying, I want, gimme, gimme.
Gimme, gimme.
Giggity, 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 goo.
Right, exactly.
So you're here in Park City.
We're thrilled.
You're thrilled.
Thrilled.
Everyone's thrilled.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm feeling a little lightheaded from the air here.
Yeah. It is light. We're higher up. A little closer to God.
Someone's a little high, definitely.
Yeah.
What is the... you know, what do you hope to accomplish here at, you know, two of the, you know, in Park City where two of the country's most prestigious film festivals are taking place simultaneously?
We want to make friends. We want to make friends and we want to get the film out. I mean, we've been working on this thing for 4 years, shoestring budget, heard it time and time again. Our goal for this is to get it out. We want people to see it. So this is such a huge opportunity for us to really give the film the launching that we feel like it deserves, and hopefully, you know, help us get into the, you know, the world at large. So. Well,
for the people that aren't able to be here right now to take advantage of that opportunity, where can they find more information about TERRA BLIGHT?
TerraBlight.com, TerraBlight.com.
Or just scan his shirt.
Or just scan the shirt. It actually says TERRA BLIGHT.
Will it actually?
Do you have a smartphone?
I don't have it on me.
Do you have a UPC?
I don't have the app on it though.
Just fake it.
We'll fake it. See, and we'll do in post. Look at
really
that.
Does.
It took me right.
Please don't fake stuff.
A guy named Scott Blake, barcodeart.com, designed this part, and somehow he knows how to make them say what you want them to say. So it's pretty.
There's an app for that, they say, right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. There's an app for everything, right?
And are you guys also on Facebook? I'm sorry,
we are
look at it. They're coming to get us. The technology is coming to get us. The Android is saying, you know. You guys are on Facebook, Twitter, all that kind of stuff?
Yep.
Where are you at there?
We have a Facebook page. If you just look for TERRA BLIGHT, it should bring you right up to it.
Twitter?
And Twitter is Terra_Blight. At Terra_Blight, and we're still learning how that works. The Twitter twatting, whatever. I'm not sure.
I will be your Sherpa up the mountain of twat.
Okay. Excellent.
Sorry.
And with that, folks, it really does, doesn't it? No, but I want to thank you guys. I again, as someone who has worked in that industry and has been a firsthand witness to that waste. You know, I do appreciate that the attention that gets brought to that, because I mean, you look at, I mean, everyone will say, okay, you have to recycle cans, bottles, newspaper, stuff like that, and even people go as far as say like recycle your batteries, or whatever. Very few people talk about what happens to your technology, and I think that more people own more technology than they think they do.
I'll take it a step further. I almost feel like there's this misconception that because we're using computers, it's a green industry. Oh, I don't have to print. Great, so you save a tree, but do you really consider how much mining went in to make those metals, you know? Do you consider how many chemicals were used to make those circuit boards, you know? And then that's just the act of making it. You know, 80% of the energy of a desktop computer is used in making it, not using it. And then once it's done, then it's also a toxic waste. So, I mean, the whole life cycle of the thing has problems, but yet, since you're not printing, it's environmentally friendly.
Out of sight, out of mind, right?
Right, exactly.
Well, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to stop, and it was very nice meeting you guys in person finally, and have fun at the festivals.
Thank you. We
You
plan
too.
to.